SRAM's newest Explorer group set is a 13-speed, and technically, it's a gravel group. But it might be one of the more interesting things you could put on a road bike right now, if your frame will take it. So let me walk you through what it actually takes and why you'd want to. There are 3 requirements, and the first one stops most people: the frame. The Explorer derailleur is what SRAM calls full mount. There's no hanger. It bolts directly to a UDH dropout and centers on the rear axle. This is what a UDH frame looks like with the hanger installed. It uses a hex cap for an 8mm wrench, and the through axle passes right through the center of that bolt. And this is the same frame with the hanger removed, ready for the Explorer derailleur to mount straight to it. And that's the part I find most interesting. Because it mounts to the axle instead of a hanger, there's nothing to bend and no limit screws to set. You hang it on the frame, pull it back, and tighten it in place. Setting the actual chain gap comes later, once the chain's on. I'll cover that in the full build. The second requirement is the freehub. The 1046 cassette needs an XDR driver, so your rear wheel needs to have an XDR body. If you're currently running SRAM Road, there's a good chance you already have one. The last piece is the group itself: the Explorer derailleur, the cassette, a flat top chain, a 1x direct mount chainring, and the access shifters. So why do it? For me, it comes down to simplicity. You drop the front derailleur and the second chainring. It cleans up the drivetrain. No front shifting to think about, and no drop chains from a misshift. But the real reason is this: UDH Explorer is the only way to get a 13-speed 1x on the road with SRAM. You could still run a 1x12 today, but then you're choosing between range and tight jumps. You can't have both. That 13th cog is what lets you keep the small steps and still gets the wide range. The range surprised me too. It's a 1046, which sounds wide, but the smallest 4 cogs step 1 tooth at a time: 10, 11, 12, 13. So your spacing stays tight right where you spend most of your road miles, and the big range sits down in the climbing gears. You get about the same total range as a 2x, but with the jumps moved to where you'll feel them the least. The catch is those 2 requirements. This only works on a UDH frame with an XDR wheel. If you've got both, it's one of the cleaner 1x setups out there. If you don't, no parts will make it fit. I'm putting this exact setup on a road frame soon, so if that's something that you'd want to see, stick around for it.